Oymyakon lies in the Yana-Oymyakon highlands of northeastern Russia, within a bowl-shaped depression along the Indigirka River. Its extreme cold results from its high latitude, distance from warming oceans, and the depression's trapping of dense frigid air. Winter averages hover around -50°C, with the mercury once dropping to -67.7°C. The region sits atop continuous permafrost, creating a fragile ecosystem where only hardy lichens and shrubs survive. Local Yakuts and Ivany people have adapted for generations, practicing reindeer herding and ice fishing. Schools only close when temperatures fall below -52°C, a testament to human resilience in one of the planet's most hostile environments.
Death Valley is a long, narrow basin that plunges 86 meters below sea level, walled by high, steep mountain ranges. Its extreme heat arises from a rain shadow effect created by 4 mountain ranges that block Pacific moisture, combined with the valley's depth which traps and recycles superheated air. The world record temperature of 56.7 degrees Celsius was recorded at Furnace Creek on the 10th of July, 1913. The landscape features rugged badlands, expansive salt flats, and serpentine canyons. Despite the aridity, rare desert pupfish survive in isolated springs. The Timbisha Shoshone people have called this harsh land home for centuries, adapting to its unforgiving rhythms.
Stretching 1,600 kilometers along South America's Pacific coast, the Atacama is wedged between the Andes Mountains and the Chilean coastal range. Its extreme aridity is caused by a persistent high-pressure system and the rain shadow of the Andes, which block moisture from both the Pacific and Atlantic. Average annual rainfall in some areas is just 1 to 3 millimeters, with some weather stations recording no precipitation for centuries. The landscape is a surreal expanse of salt flats, sand dunes, and rugged mountains, so Mars-like that NASA uses it to test space rovers. Despite the dryness, the region experiences rare flowering desert events when El Niño brings unexpected rains. Mawsynram sits in the Khasi Hills of Meghalaya, a plateau that rises abruptly from the plains of Bangladesh. Its phenomenal rainfall is driven by the summer monsoon, where moisture-laden winds from the Bay of Bengal are forced upwards by the steep hills, condensing into relentless downpours. The village receives approximately 11,872 millimeters of rain per year. The constant moisture has shaped a lush, vibrant ecosystem of dense subtropical forests and cascading waterfalls. The local Khasi people have ingeniously adapted by crafting living root bridges from the rubber fig tree, structures that strengthen over time and can span over 50 meters. This is a world where umbrellas are replaced by bamboo shields.
El Azizia is located roughly 40 kilometers southwest of Tripoli, within the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert. Its extreme heat is a product of its desert climate, characterized by intense solar radiation, minimal cloud cover, and dry, stable air masses. For 90 years, it held the record for the highest recorded temperature at 58 degrees Celsius, a measurement later disqualified due to probable inaccuracies related to its proximity to the Mediterranean's moderating influence. The landscape is defined by rocky plateaus, gravel plains, and massive sand dunes. The Sahara supports surprisingly resilient life, including the fennec fox and various reptiles. Libyan communities have long navigated this harsh environment through traditional oasis-based agriculture and nomadic pastoralism. The Philippines is an archipelago of over 7,000 islands situated in the western Pacific Ocean, directly in the path of the world's most active typhoon belt. Its extreme weather is driven by warm Pacific waters that fuel tropical cyclones, with about 8 or 9 making direct landfall each year. The islands are characterized by rugged coastlines, mountainous interiors, and active volcanoes due to its position on the Pacific Ring of Fire. The frequent storms have shaped a resilient but vulnerable ecosystem of tropical rainforests and coral reefs. Super Typhoon Yolanda in 2013, with sustained winds of 315 km per hour, remains one of the strongest cyclones ever recorded, reshaping communities and highlighting the nation's constant battle with the elements.
Bangladesh sits on the Ganges-Brahmaputra-Meghna Delta, one of the world's largest and most dynamic river systems. Its extreme vulnerability arises from its low-lying coastal geography and the funnel-shaped Bay of Bengal, which amplifies storm surges from cyclones. The country experiences an average of 12 to 13 tropical depressions annually, with about 5 developing into full cyclones. The delta is a fertile but precarious ecosystem of mangrove forests, including the Sundarbans, and rich agricultural land. The 1970 Bowler cyclone remains the deadliest on record, a stark reminder of the power of the Bay of Bengal. The nation's struggle against rising tides and intensifying storms is a daily reality for its millions of coastal inhabitants. Pakistan's geography spans from the towering peaks of the Karakoram and Himalayan ranges to the arid plains of the Indus River basin. Its extreme weather is characterized by catastrophic monsoon floods that submerge millions, recent events affecting over 30 million people, and severe heat waves that kill hundreds. The northern Third Pole Glacier are melting at an alarming rate, threatening future water supplies while simultaneously triggering destructive glacial lake outburst floods. The landscape varies from fertile river valleys to vast deserts. This complex interplay of melting ice and raging floods creates a precarious environment for its 250 million citizens, making it one of the most climate-vulnerable nations on Earth. Iceland is a volcanic island situated on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are pulling apart. This geological activity fuels its extreme environment, with over 30 active volcanic systems buried beneath massive ice caps. The climate is subarctic, tempered by the North Atlantic current, yet subject to sudden and violent weather shifts. The interplay of fire and ice creates a surreal landscape of black sand deserts, glacial rivers, and geothermal fields. The ecosystem is fragile, with hardy mosses and birch scrub clinging to the lava fields. The Icelandic people have harnessed this geothermal power for energy and adapted to the land's volatile nature, living in constant awareness of the forces beneath their feet. Myanmar is a Southeast Asian nation with a long coastline along the Bay of Bengal. Its geography is dominated by the fertile Irrawaddy Delta, a low-lying region that is exceptionally vulnerable to storm surges and flooding. The country's extreme weather risk is compounded by its location, which places it directly in the path of tropical cyclones originating in the Bay of Bengal. The landscape includes lush river plains, mountainous regions, and dense forests. Cyclone Nargis in 2008 was a catastrophic event that devastated the delta, leaving millions dead and displaced. The impact of such storms is often magnified by deforestation and environmental degradation, making the nation one of the hardest hit by extreme weather.
Honduras is a Central American nation with a Caribbean coastline and a mountainous interior. Its extreme weather is characterized by hurricanes that slam its coast, followed by torrential rains that saturate the steep mountain slopes. This leads to devastating landslides that entire slopes crumble and overwhelm communities. The landscape is a mix of coastal plains, tropical rainforests, and rugged highlands. Deforestation has worsened the risk, stripping hills bare and leaving communities dangerously exposed to even moderate storms. The country is consistently ranked among the most affected by extreme weather, with storms quickly multiplying into floods that tear through valleys and reshape the land.
Somalia occupies the Horn of Africa, a region of semi-arid plains and dry savannas. Its extreme weather is a tale of two disasters: prolonged droughts that leave farmlands bone dry, followed by violent floods that sweep across villages. The landscape is defined by the Juba and Sharbel rivers, which can overflow during the rainy season, as well as vast expanses of arid land. The ecosystem is fragile, supporting nomadic herding and subsistence farming. These violent swings in weather push entire communities from their homes, trapping them in a relentless cycle of survival. The country's vulnerability is heightened by conflict and a lack of infrastructure, making it one of the world's most climate-fragile states. Sri Lanka is a tropical island nation in the Indian Ocean, characterized by a central highland massif surrounded by coastal plains. Its extreme weather is driven by two monsoons, with the second intermonsoon period, October-November, being the most intense, contributing disproportionately to annual rainfall and extreme flood events. The heavy rain, combined with the island's topography, triggers catastrophic flash floods and landslides. The landscape is a lush, biodiversity hotspot of rainforests and tea plantations. The wet zone experiences increasing hydroclimatic volatility, heightening risks for the population. The country is increasingly affected by the shifting behavior of its monsoons, making this island nation a poignant example of the power of extreme precipitation.